What up, suckers? Welcome back to the Open Table Sports Podcast. I'm Matt the Kid Degnan. This is Dom Caps. We're back again. It's just us. The cream team. It's now only
Yeah.
dwindled down to two. But we actually do have a lot to talk about today. We have tons of viewer mail. We have 7 questions today.
Wow.
And one that's not really a question. It's just a couple of statements that the person who sent it in wants our thoughts about. So we'll figure that one out. We do have a lot to talk about in the world of the NBA, NHL playoffs. There's really nothing going on there. NBA, there's only playoffs and the lottery. NFL, really nothing. Just a couple minor signings, minor cuts. No really big trades. The biggest trade this week in the NFL was Darren Lee for a 6th rounder. So really nothing going on. The biggest storyline this week is what we're going to kick off with in the kickoff talk. Cardinals cornerback Patrick Peterson suspended for the first 6 games of the season for PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs, if you didn't know. Man, it goes from him possibly being traded to now being suspended for the first 6 games. Usually it's like 4 games. I don't know why he got 6.
Yeah, Edelman got 4 when it happened to him. So I don't know if they changed it or they're trying to become more strict, but I'm not too sure why it's, like you said, 6 now instead of 4. Because it's really been 4 over the years and now doing 6. That's almost half the season now.
Yeah, because if you technically count like a bye week, so that's 7. Yeah, it's like basically almost half the season. And then at the time it takes for him to get back into game form.
Yeah,
Because you could still play preseason if you're suspended, but who are you facing? You're facing what, a top athlete for maybe 4 snaps, 5 snaps. So I mean, how long is it going to take for him to get back into full form when the season comes?
and that's kind of devastating for the Cardinals because he's like one of their top guys, and now that team went all out. They did some crazy stuff in free agency, and now you lose one of your for sure guys that you knew were going to produce for the first half of the season, and that could really set them behind where they have a deficit they can't even make up.
Yeah, I don't. He's like he's a top 5 corner in the NFL for sure. So losing someone like this for the first 6 games, where this is your first season getting around that curve from being a shitty team, and now you're starting to, veer off and you're going to start being a winning team, and now you get hit with this. And he's the leader of that defense.
Mm-hmm. It just doesn't look good at all. Now he kind of questions his legitimacy, and it's not a good look for the Cardinals, not a good look for Peterson. Just a bad situation overall.
Yeah, now they're going to have to throw Byron Murphy right into the fire.
Yeah, so
he's going to have to, take over that role for the first 6 games. Who knows how many games before he's, fully ready.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's just crazy because like a couple weeks ago, people were saying that he would be traded. Now he has no trade value because who's going to want to trade for a cornerback who's suspended 6 games?
Yeah, it's just useless at that point.
Because like when you sign someone, like I know the Browns, they signed Kareem Hunt knowing he would be suspended. But I mean, who cares when you're signing him for $1 million?
Yeah, it's like,
and he's suspended 8 games, so who really cares about that? But when you trade for someone, you're giving up picks, players, especially for Patrick Peterson. You're going to be giving up more than $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah, the Browns in a no-lose situation with Kareem Hunt. If he doesn't pan out, you lost $1 million. It doesn't matter. You're not losing anything big. And if he becomes something, if he does something to help your team at the end of the season, then you look like geniuses.
Yeah, it's like the Yankees signing Troy Tulowitzki on that minimum deal.
Yeah. I mean, he got injured, but, what'd you lose, $500,000? Like, really?
Who cares? He could play 50 games, and that's still worth $500,000 for the Yankees. Who cares?
Yeah,
even just him being in the locker room.
Yeah, it's veteran.
That's worth $500,000.
Yeah.
alone. So That's worth, his admission alone is just him going into the locker room, helping out Torres, helping out Andujar.
Yeah, everyone. I mean, it's just $500,000 for the Yankees is pulling out a couple, little bit of change out of your pocket.
Yeah, Big Daddy's watching right now.
Hey, Big Daddy. Long time no see.
Yeah, he's missing you.
Yeah, what's it been almost at 2 weeks now.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll see him soon.
Maybe.
So next we're gonna get into the NBA draft lottery fallout. Let me pull that up real quick. What do you think of the draft lottery overall?
Well,
a lot went on.
See, I don't know. I'm very mixed with the NBA draft. Same with the NHL. I'm mixed with the lottery. I don't know. I've always liked how the NFL does it. I just don't think a team, that's, mid pack should get the first overall, have a chance at the first overall pick.
Yeah, they have to change this. I don't know why they did this in the first place years ago. What's the point of doing a lottery? Do it like every other sport. Worst team gets the first pick.
And that definitely contributes to why there's no big changes in the NBA. Like the bad teams consistently stay the bad teams.
What does NHL do for draft?
They do the same thing.
That's what I thought. But aren't they doing away with that in like a year or something like that?
There's rumors about it. I hope it's true. I hope it happens. Because that's why you see the NFL where you see teams come back up on the rise when they're bad because they have the first choice of picks.
Yeah, I don't like the lottery aspect of it. It's so stupid.
Like, there's no reason that the Phoenix Suns should not have a top 4 pick. That just blows my mind.
Or how the Lakers are at 4.
Yeah, it's astonishing.
And how the Pelicans have the 1 pick. Imagine if they kept like DeMarcus Cousins or something like that. I don't know.
Like even the 76ers had a chance at the 1 pick. There's no reason for that.
Can you imagine if they did get the 1 pick?
It's just insane how a team that made the playoffs has a chance at the number 1 overall pick in the draft. And NBA draft, there's not much of a draft. It's not like
it's only 2 rounds.
Yeah, it's not like the NFL draft where you have 7 rounds, or the MLB draft where you're there for like a year doing the draft.
Big Daddy says he likes your new haircut.
Oh, thanks.
He says there's no live chat for this.
There should be.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, it's Big Daddy. Can't expect much. So the draft fallout. Pelicans got the first. Grizzlies got the second. Knicks got the third. Lakers got the fourth. Cavaliers got the fifth. Suns, Bulls, Hawks, Wizards. Hawks again. 2 in the top 10. Mm-hmm. Bingo. Timberwolves at 11. Bobcats.
Oh,
whoa. Hornets at 12. The Heat at 13. Celtics at 14. And then, yeah, Detroit. Who cares after that? Yeah. Who really cares after the top 5? So Pelicans at 1. It's really not that hard. Zion Williamson. Unless they pull an Anthony Bennett, I don't know what else. Who could? Maybe they pick RJ Barrett, pair him with Anthony Davis, those two.
But I think Anthony Davis is going to be out.
See, that's the thing. You can't really pair someone with AD and plan on it, so you're going to end up trading. That's going to be crazy. If they trade AD to whoever, the Lakers, the Knicks, maybe they trade Anthony Davis to the Grizzlies. Who knows? They could trade Anthony Davis to the Phoenix Suns.
Mm-hmm.
You get back Josh Jackson. You get back Kelly Oubre and a sign and trade with him because he's technically going to be a free agent.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you trade him to the Suns for the 6th pick.
It could.
You give them the 6th pick. You get back, 3 players. I don't know. And that pick for Anthony Davis, I wouldn't mind seeing that because then you have Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Anthony Davis.
Yeah. And I mean,
Suns, they're a type of franchise that doesn't like doing big things.
Yeah,
They're
they're
very
very.
draft oriented.
Yeah, they definitely are. And now, I mean, now we have mixed, reports on Zion and whether he's happy or not
I,
happy with New Orleans.
I hope he goes back to Duke. That'd be such a big storyline.
Oh yeah, that would just blow the Pelicans. Just that would just because you mean now that kind of eases the fact of losing Anthony Davis, the fact that you're getting Zion to kind of fill in, but now it's like if he goes back to Duke because he doesn't want to go to New Orleans,
Then you pick RJ Barrett.
I mean he could just pull the Eli. He could pull an Eli and just
I would
continue
like
to play
that.
for the franchise,
Yeah.
and then you know he could go to New York because he definitely wants to go to New York. Like that's definitely like the one place he wants to go to. I think he wants all the spotlight.
Yeah. I mean, if he does do that, Eli Manning, maybe he gets traded to the Knicks. Maybe can you imagine a trade with Anthony Davis and Zion in the same package going back to the Knicks?
They'd have to give up they got the picks they got for Porzingis.
Well, no, because what they could do is they could trade RJ Barrett, who they'll pick. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
call RJ Barrett, Philip Rivers, and Zion Williamson, Eli Manning.
Yeah.
So basically, you just trade those two. You add an Anthony Davis to Eli Manning, and then you add a package to Philip Rivers and RJ Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you give them like Kevin Knox, Damian Dotson, a bunch of scrubs. Knicks are filled with tons of guards.
Yeah.
They have tons of guards that they could you could put them. Oh my God, you could just, I don't know. They have so many, even in their D League or G League team. I don't even know, what do they call that now? They changed the name of it to the G League.
Something like that. Something
I
no
don't
one
know. It's
watches.
something stupid. But really, who follows the G League or whatever?
Yeah.
No one cares. But all I know is that they have tons of guards down there.
Mm-hmm.
They need forwards, especially on the main roster, I guess you could say. Oh, I just clicked out of it.
But yeah, if you get the Knicks, I mean, if it wouldn't hurt to clear out some guards. That would help them get Kyrie Irving, and then
Anthony Davis, and oh my God, can you imagine if they sign Kyrie, they trade for Zion and AD, and they sign Kevin Durant?
And then you honestly don't even matter who your center is. You can play with whatever.
Because you can hang on, let me write this out.
You could have Anthony Davis play center. Is out.
You just need a 2 guard. Let me look at the Knicks roster right now. The only person you'd want to keep is Alonzo Trier.
Yeah.
And he could be your 2 guard. Mm-hmm. And he's a nice 2 guard as well. Even Dotson, but I think Dotson would go over. But even if you have Alonzo Trier.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks, that's one thing I didn't get. The Knicks fans were going up in outrage and,
And Alonzo Trier was a rookie. And he had a really good he averaged 23 minutes per game, 11 points. He shot 40% from 3-point land. 45% from the field.
Mm-hmm.
80% from free throw. That's all right. Averaging 3 rebounds and 2 assists per game.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be solid.
That's solid in his first year, and he still has so much growth. Like, look at this towards the end of the season. 22 points, 16, 29, 12, 10, 15, 7, 4, 4. And then he ended the year with 22 points.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows that, look at these games, 22, 16, 29, 22. It shows that he is able to score.
Yeah.
So even though he's averaging 11, he does have a lot of games over 20 points, some over 25. So that's a solid 2 guard right there in Trier, who was a rookie last season. Imagine what he could do in second, third, fourth year. He can progress really well. So you can possibly have a starting lineup with Kyrie, who could average 25, Trier, who could easily average 15 a game, Zion, he could be at your small forward position. Power forward, you have KD and AD. AD at your center.
Yeah. And then you have if you keep Dennis Smith Jr., he's going to be good off the bench.
I think he would go over in the trade. I think it'd be like Dennis Smith Jr., Damian Dotson, Kevin Knox, and like 2 first-rounders, plus RJ Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, because the only thing it comes down to is money. Zion's not going to get that much because it's his rookie deal. So it's not like he's going to be getting like a $40 million contract per year, something crazy like that. He's not going to get that much in a rookie deal. Trier's on a pretty cheap contract. AD's under contract. He has a 1 year left on his contract, so that's pretty much paid for. So he's not going to have that much. The only ones you're going to be giving supers to KD and Kyrie.
Yeah.
That could win the championship next year. That's better than the Warriors team, in my opinion.
Yeah. No,
So I'll take Anthony Davis over Cousins any day. KD, who are you going to compare to him on the Warriors?
Yeah.
I'll take KD over Draymond Green any day.
Mm-hmm.
Zion, Trier, he's good. I don't know. That's a solid lineup.
Yeah.
And then you have and Mitchell Robinson too. He could be.
Oh, he'd be a strong center off the bench.
Strong center off the bench. That's a nice lineup right there. I don't know. Lakers having that 4 pick. I don't know how much they're going to do with that pick because no one wants to trade with the Lakers.
Yeah.
I've heard. I mean, you even saw that the Pelicans GM said, over my dead body, that I'll trade Anthony Davis there. If someone's saying that about trading a player, imagine who's running the Lakers.
Yeah, I think, right now, Anthony Davis, honestly, the Knicks got to be the favorites now.
Yeah, I would say the Knicks. That's literally the only team I could see trading for Anthony Davis. Maybe the Celtics, but their only problem is money and re-signing players because they're losing Kyrie, they're losing Morris, and they're losing Rozier.
Yeah, and that franchise right now is unstable.
And you have Gordon Hayward, who's playing like a 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know who Al Horford, who's he's average. I mean, he's nothing insane anymore. He's a little bit older. So who knows what he's going to do another year added on to him. Tatum and Brown, have they really showed anything the last year? No. So, I mean, I don't see much in Boston in why they would trade for him, maybe to make a splash. But if they do trade, they're going to have to give up Brown. They're going to have to give up Tatum. They're going to have to give up that 14th pick and a lot more than that.
Mm-hmm.
On top of already losing people, they're going to trade more away just to get one person. That's why I don't see the Celtics doing it. Because then they're going to have to re-sign Kyrie, re-sign Marcus Morris, sign KD to an extension. I just don't see it happening in Boston.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
No. The lottery was fun, though. I didn't watch it. I'm trying to think. What night was that? Thursday?
I think it was Wednesday.
Oh, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday. I get my Tuesdays and Thursdays mixed up. I was at the podcast, the Mario Chaos and the Kid podcast, so I wasn't able to watch it. Yeah, I don't know. The lottery, I hate. If they went away with it, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
I just don't see the need of it.
Yeah. What does it do? Provide, 10 minutes of excitement? Like, that's it. And it just screws over teams, that were the worst teams in the league.
Big Daddy wants to know about your bunk beds.
Bunk beds? Oh. Well, I'm in a room with brothers, so I don't sleep on the bunk bed.
He's got siblings, Big Daddy. He's actually in prison right now doing 10 to 15.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you are, because you got the bunk beds.
How'd you know? Leaked information now.
Behind those metal bars. At least you got the Yankees blanket, though.
Yeah.
And it's not a Mets blanket.
Nah, no ugly Mets. I was working at the pizzeria yesterday doing a delivery, and I go to this place, and it's in the backyard, and I see Mets hats. I was like, ugh. And then they're telling me to take my Yankees hat off. I was like, not going to happen.
Dom Cap, staying true to the Yankees.
Yeah.
It's like the way I wore my Brewers hat to work the other day. I got behind the bar. I had to take it off. As I was about to take it off, someone said, "Oh, you're a Brewers fan? He said, yeah. They're like, oh, that's tough. I was like, what do you? People do the same thing to me. They always say that, like, they're like, oh, you know what football team do you like? I said the Chargers. Like, oh, that's tough. Like, why? They're like, oh, this, that, and the other. I'm like, I didn't know 12-4 was a bad team, or the best record in the NFL is a bad team.
Yeah.
People say that just because they stereotype teams. Like, if you look at the Patriots, they're stereotyped as a great franchise. Big Daddy called us a couple of cocksuckers. Takes one to know one. So people just stereotype the Chargers being a bad team. Oh, we're always injured. Oh, we have bad kickers. We can't get the job done. It's like, all right, you don't have to win a championship to be a good team. Winning a championship, yeah, it proves that you're a good team, but you don't have to win one to be a good team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
like there could be more than one good team a year. Just because one team wins a Super Bowl makes them the only good team. I don't like that stereotype. If you have a winning record, you're a winning team and you're a good team. Anything above 9-7 and over, you're a good team.
I think this year's the make or break year for the Chargers.
It is. Yeah, Phillip Rivers adding another year. Who knows what he could do? The only thing I'm excited about is getting a new quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're past that phase. You got Daniel Jones. You're fine.
Yeah.
It's like now I'm in that stage where I'm like a giddy little kid trying to see like who's the next quarterback coming in.
Got a couple of them coming up.
I know. I want Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, if you wait, 2 years, and he'll be there.
I know. I'm excited for that.
The only problem is you'll probably have to trade up to get him.
Yeah, I know.
Or be bad to get him.
I don't like no bueno. Yeah. How did we get from the NBA draft lottery to talking about Phillip Rivers and the Chargers? I think Big Daddy got us off course. That was it.
Yeah.
Updated NBA playoff outlook and thoughts. What are your thoughts on the conference finals so far?
I'm surprised with the Blazers playing.
They should have won. The first game, they shit the bed. Second game, they shit the bed.
Yeah, I mean they play a closer game in game 2 than I thought they were going to.
See, the two games so far are closer than a 2-0 series.
Yeah. And then when you look in the East, you just gotta think the Bucks are gonna pull it out.
You think they sweep?
I say 5.
5? Depends on what happens tonight. Game 1 was pretty close. They played tonight at 8:30. I'll be watching that game. I'm a Bucks fan. I might be going out later. I don't know yet, depending on scheduling. But yeah, even though it's 2-0, last night's game was really close.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 114 to 111?
Yeah.
It was a good game last night. Portland should have won. So I was kind of pissed. If it was 1-1 going back to Portland, I honestly would have put money on Portland winning.
Yeah, no, it would have been.
Now, if Portland doesn't win the next 2 games, series over. I think both series go 5.
Yeah,
that's my opinion. If you look at the Bucks, they've only lost 1 game so far, and that was that fluke win by the Celtics.
Yeah.
In game 1. Other than that, they have nothing. They swept Detroit. That was an easy series. Conference semifinals, they beat Boston 4-1. That win didn't even mean anything for Boston because it was in game 1. Didn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that game was just non-existent. Then you look at this, they're up 1-0 tonight. If they win tonight, I think it could be a sweep.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how they.
But I'm not ruling out a Raptors win because they can easily go back to Toronto and win both of those games.
Yeah,
so I'm not saying they're definitely going to sweep. I'm just saying if the Bucks do win tonight and they win with a little oomph to it, I think they might sweep.
Yeah. No.
Simple as that. Golden State and Portland. Right now, I'm going to have to go sweep. I know KD's going to be out games 3 and 4. We'll get into that a little bit later. Oh my God. These people that Snapchat me. Oh, I forgot I have my questionnaire on my Instagram. I haven't checked that in like an hour. Yeah, right now I got Golden State and the Bucks. But this makes me wonder, why even have the playoffs if you have both of the 1 seeds playing each other?
Yeah.
We're getting a call. What's up, Big Daddy?
Is this Open Table Sports with Matt the King Degnan and the legendary Dom Caps that I'm speaking with right now?
It is.
Well, first off, I'd like to thank you for taking my call. I know you guys don't usually take live calls. It's a pleasure and an honor to be on Open Table Sports. I come to you guys to learn about my information with the MLB and with the NBA and with the NFL and yes, with the NHL and even with that fucking NASCAR. I don't know if I can say that on Open Table Sports. And yeah, I get my news from Tom Cal.
Yeah, it's fine if you swear on here. You swear on the Mario Chaos and the Kid podcast all the time.
So let me like to say to fans out there, go to PureLifeValleyProWrestling.com. Listen to Mario Chaos and the Kid podcast on Stitcher, on B Plus Player, and all social media platforms. But I'm not calling in for that. I'd like to talk a little sport. I don't want to throw your Open Table Sports podcast off the grid here. You're talking about a lot of things that interest me. The Guardian of Chaos is just and Pasta show on 590 The Fan out in the Louis, St. Louis, Missouri. You can hear that. All my friends on Morning Men, Down Nation on Sirius XM, Channel 82, because you know the Guardian of Chaos. And comes to come in border to border for pillar to post, especially with the social media. And he did a great job at Rally Cry on the camera work, although we missed Tom Counts. For Super Elite Entertainment, the kid is something. Social media prodigy, kept bringing Open Table Sports to the YouTube and Twitter world community. Kid, what do you have to say for yourself? Because I want to go over the one expression that you guys talk about. You shit the bed. I want you to know where it originated from. So, kid, what do you have to say about the sports world?
Well, the sports world, it's very up and down. Sometimes I find myself mad at it. Sometimes I'll love it, but it is what I do for a living and is following sports. The sports world is constantly moving, which is a good thing. So there's always something to talk about. There's always something to discuss, and you're always going to get a good fight out of someone if you don't like their team, a.k.a. the Mets.
Well, that is a valid point. Listen, kid, stop that. I am very disappointed in what has happened with the New York Mets. Mickey Callaway is supposed to be a pitching whisperer, okay? Granted, he is now the manager, so that's why he got Dave Island as the pitching coach, but we have a lot of injuries. Yeah, I guess you could say Callaway helped certain guys like Zach Wheeler or maybe Gesellman or Lugo. But listen, we're falling on hard times. I don't know why we didn't go out and get Dallas Keuchel. I'm very disappointed in what's happening with the Mets season. I'm a big Brody fan, and he's refreshing the boat, but I'm not liking the results. And Mickey Callaway, they have to go. And I don't want to make this all about the Mets. I'd like to get into the Yankees, but for a brief moment, kid, how about your Milwaukee Brewers? You know I'm a big Bob Uecker fan. I followed, because of that, I followed the Brewers. And Jesus, holy promoting in Yelich.
Yeah.
Maybe early candidate here for the MVP. Give me your thoughts on Yelich and where Milwaukee is right now.
I think it's going to be another MVP season for Christian Yelich. Even Ryan Braun, he's been mashing the past couple weeks, so happy in that. Our outfielders killing. I got to say, I fucking hate Orlando Arcia, though. He is hot garbage. I don't know how he...
And putting that out there on social media and Twitter about Arcia. And then, listen, I couldn't agree with you. What is your Twitter handle, kid?
Degnan_Matt. That is last name first.
Oh, is it first name Matt?
I think it's both, Big Daddy.
I think you're right. But anyway, the Milwaukee Brewers, my odds-on favorite to make it to the NLCS. I do say the World Series because it looks like my Metropolitans are in big trouble. So, yeah, very impressive kids with the Milwaukee Brewers. And I want to bring Dom Capps in here quickly. Dom, Give me your impressions on what's going on with all the DL guys. French Giancarlo coming back. What are your thoughts on Andujar going on the DL? What are your thoughts on Ursula and all the young players for the Yankees who are really holding their own a bit the injury-prone early part of the season? Don Jack.
Well, Giancarlo Stanton, he'll be back, in a few weeks, I believe. I think he's just taking their time with him. And then you got Andujar making. I think that's the right decision. Just shut him down now. Get him ready for next year. Everything's squared away. And Ursula's stepped up, so that's why I think the decision for Andujar to go down really isn't that big of an impact.
Give me your thoughts on who I think is an early season candidate. Obviously, would be an all-star, but Gleyber Torres. Give me your thoughts on him because I think he's phenomenal.
I think Gleyber Torres is arguably the best hitter in the lineup, one of the best fielders in the team, and he's 22 years old. He's the future of the New York Yankees. I think if it wasn't for Aaron Judge, he would be the face of the franchise.
That's a valid point, Domcaps. Question, and this goes out to the King and Domcaps, respectively, about the Brewers and the Yankees before we get back briefly into the NBA, and I'll let you go. Leading into June, leading into the trade deadlines, which we have a little ways away, do you think the Brewers are going to make any moves? And if they are, where do you see them going? What position? Where do you think they need help right now? And I know it's not funny to say that because they're still on fire, but tell me your thoughts on a move the Brewers may be making coming up at the trade deadline or even after June 1st.
I would say the Brewers were set at outfielder position. Third base, we're set because we can have Shaw or Moustakas play that position. First base, we're set. We have Aguilar and Thames. Catcher, we're set. We have Pena and Grandal. Bullpen, we're set. If anything, we could probably trade for a shortstop because Orlando Arcia is not that great, but we also have Hernan Perez who can back up the second base and shortstop position as well. So,
is there anybody down in the minor league system that can come up at the middle infielder? And more importantly, you haven't addressed the starting rotation.
I was just about to get to that. Starting rotation would probably be the major spot where we would trade for. Also, we have Heston Hiera in the minors who just came up last week because Travis Shaw is now on the DL. 10-day, well, now it's injured list, not disabled list, but he's on the 10-day IL. But, yeah, probably just starting rotation. That's really it. And just bench depth.
Well, Ken, it sounds like you should be writing for the Milwaukee Journal or being out there working for MLB as a sideline reporter for the Brewers. It's an excellent breakdown, kid. Very impressed.
Maybe I should be a GM.
Well, listen, you couldn't be any worse than any of these analytics guys. I mean, you're right on the ball, whether it's Billy Bean down to Bodie in New York or even Theo Epstein. You're on the rise. Up to need a Viagra or Blue Chew. Like Sean Ross Sapp, years old. You think we're a guy that's over 50 like myself. Anyway, I think I want to get into Domcaps down leading into June 1st. Leading into the trade deadline, we're a little ways away. Address the starting rotation for the Yankees and where do you think they need some help? And is Cashman going to make any moves? Even though the Yankees are plagued with injuries right now and they're waiting for the troops to come back. Give me your thoughts and break it down, Domcaps.
I believe, the starting rotation isn't that bad right now. I think the Yankees are going to get Dallas Keuchel once the arbitration and all the compensation picks are through. So in mid-June, I think the Yankees get Dallas Keuchel. And they'll add him with Tanaka, CC, J-Happ, Domingo Armand, who has the most wins in baseball, which is incredible. I think he's becoming he could be the ace of the Yankees in the future. And then you throw in, Severino when he comes back, and then Dallas Keuchel. I mean, you'd have 5 to 6 legitimate starters.
Then you got Montgomery coming back, Tanaka, Paxton, Happ, CC,
and James Paxton. They have a lot of starters. They could really play with house money. That's what they're doing with all their positions. Outfielders, they have plenty of depth. Infield, plenty of depth. Catcher, plenty of depth. The bullpen is stepping up to where it should have been.
Yeah, bullpen is stacked. I really don't see starting pitching that big of an issue for the Yankees there's really no big issue for them. It's just injuries that's really plaguing them. I think if anything, it'd just be a little bit of outfielder depth because that's where they have the most injuries. So
I think
if anything, I would just grab a top outfielder that's on the trade market just to pick up for the bench.
Or to pick up a lefty.
That's to my point. The way Open Table Sports and the way you guys break it down, this is why I listen. This is why the fans should be listening to Open Table Sports, because your guys' knowledge from Generation Z is second to none. Listening to you two is like listening to MLB Network and listening to whether it be Harold Reynolds or Bad Dog Russo or Brian Kenny or Kevin Millar. I mean, listening to you guys is like listening to the network. You can feel like good buddy Mark DeRosa. You guys really do break it down and down to your point. Domingo or on. I mean, unbelievable. Let's get out to briefly, because I want your two guys' expert opinion. Kid, down and tell me what you think my Metropolitans need to do leading to June, the deadline, and then the trade deadline in July. Please give me some help for the New York Mets. In your opinion, gentlemen.
I think starting pitching is not that big of a deal. And I don't think it's a big need, but if they do have someone on the market that they have their eyes on, surely go for them. I think catching position is pretty good. Infield is good. Outfield's a little bit of an issue, but when Cespedes comes back, it'll be a little bit more stable. But I think right now, it's just offense. Their pitching is not atrocious. They're really just an average team, to be honest. You can really address any part of that team, and it'll put them over, that average mark. But I think if you look at infield, shortstop is a big need. Ahmed Rosario has not been a shining star. Earthwind. Yeah, he hasn't really been that much of a shining star, a la Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Wow, very nice. Now let me ask you a question. What do you hear about Orlando Cespedes and his timetable?
What'd you say his name was? Orlando Cespedes. You mean Yoenis Cespedes?
I call him Orlando. I don't want to say Yoenis. Ron, I like to play with sports, and I usually call him when I call it the WFAN or Bad Dog Radio. I usually say Yoenis Cespedes. So I'm going here with Orlando. And you know what Foley Ray said to me, kid? Give me 5 spots in the world of wrestling, and I fuck up 4.
Yeah, when Cespedes comes back, he'll man left field. Conforto's a great right fielder, in my opinion. I think center's good with Nimmo. I think he has a little bit more work to do, but once Cespedes comes back, that outfield is fine. You get McNeil, and then you're going to get Jed Lowry back at some point. Cano can man second.
That's also fair. I hate to cut you off. I'll do it all day, all night. I want to get on the podcast, but that's another thing that's been a bust. Lowry has been a bust so far with his health. I just think we have a lot of needs, especially with pitching. As you broke it down, excellent. Now, Cass, in your opinion, as a guy that lives in New Jersey, who's very famous in the tri-state area, infamous, I should say, you follow the Mets because you're a big Yankees fan. Give me your opinion.
Well, with the Mets coming up, they have a 10-game stretch where I think they need to go 7-3 or 8-2 at the least. And that's coming against teams like Miami, Washington, and Detroit. They need to take the majority of those games, and that leads them into a 4-game series against the Dodgers in LA. So if they can build some momentum and then, take 2 or 3 from the Dodgers, I think the Mets aren't in a bad spot. They're only 3.5 games out of the division.
That's what I said. They're an average team right now. You can address any point in that team, and they're good.
Well, the division is down right now. It's like down to his point, kid. The division is down right now. The Mets aren't that far out. You're right. They could address anything, but
the division needs a Viagra.
Well, again, to tie this up like a little bow, tell me what the kid thinks the Mets need everything. I agree with them. Give me your breakdown of the starting pitching staff and what you think we should do with Mickey Callaway. And I thought the players were awful off to Ronnie Darling, guys know I'm a big fan of the boots of Gary Cohen, Keith Hernandez, and Ismail Haji, because I got the boy Emilio. Brought some players on with Ronnie Darling. Doc, you think the Mets should get rid of Mickey Callaway and bring in maybe a Wally Bachman or an 86 Mets contingent, something?
They could. I think it's a little quick. I think it's a little quick to make any, rash decisions. I think they can probably ride this out another few weeks. Like I said, this 10-game stretch could really mean a lot because these are against teams that aren't that great. So we'll see how the Mets handle this 10-game stretch. If they do this stretch and they go like 3-7, then yeah, they got to do something.
That's a valid point. Again, fans out there on YouTube and on Twitter, this is why I listen to Open Table Sports. And I'm going to get off, guys, if you're giving me 15 minutes to go left and get off the radio now and off YouTube and let you guys finish with the NBA and the NHL. I'm going for the St. Louis Blues in the NHL. I don't know who the hell I'm pulling for the NBA, but I'm looking forward to him, Anthony Davis, and where he's going to go, and Zion Williamson, and KD. And, I think Golden State's going to win the NBA championship again. Those are my predictions. And I just want to throw out, and listen, of course, they're playing that down at Bethpage, Blackpage, where the hell they're playing for the PGA. A lot of stuff going on. It's a great time to be alive, especially in the world of professional wrestling. And it's unbelievable. I know the kid's going to be live this weekend, going to a lot of different events, whether it be an NXT TakeOver or Money in the Bank. Falcon 4, we're coming out to Habanero Blues on June 1st. And don't forget the New England Western Walk on June 8th is the Fan Fest 7. It's going to be unbelievable. But the one thing I want to discuss before I get off the air here on Open Table Sports, when you say shit the bed, you know what that means? Shit the bed is not a good sports expression. That means you're dead. You're done. You shit the bed. That's what the world famous eighth wonder of the world, Andre the Giant, was known for when he used to leave hotels overseas with a maid. Breaking story here. He would shit the bed. That's not a good expression. All right, there's three types of people in this world. Those who don't know what happened, those who wonder what happened. And people like MCK Podcast, Open Table Sports, Dylan Katz, the kid, and the Dream Team, and the Garden of Chaos that make things happen. Thank you, gentlemen. I'll finish watching the rest of the show. God bless.
Thank you, Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Well, Big Daddy just took over the Open Table Sports podcast. I don't know how the audio sounded on that. I don't know if there was echo or I think it should have been fine though, right?
It was fine on my end. I was able to make out what he was saying, so.
Yeah, it was fine. He was breaking up a little bit, but that's what's going to happen. Now back to the updated NBA play. I'm so out of sorts. We went from that was a 17.5-minute phone call, and now we're already over 45 minutes in, and we still have more than basically half the rundown, all of the viewer mail. We have 7 questions. We're going to be here 3 hours. All right.
Well, we just killed a viewer mail there.
We could still do it. We'll just do it again. So playoff outlook, I got Bucks and Warriors. I see that going 6. What do you got?
I could see it going 5 or 6. I can't see 7. I got the same matchup. Yeah, 5 or 6. I think it'll be key. I think who gets home court on that?
Bucks. Bucks are the top seed.
Okay, so I think you look at it. I think the Bucks. I think the Warriors will snag one in Milwaukee. I think it'll be 1-1 going back to Golden State. I think Golden State goes up 3-1. They might lose game 5 and then win game 6.
I'm telling you, it's going to go 6 games. So let me get your thoughts on this. Me and you haven't really talked about this. Ben Simmons for LeBron James. There's been some reports that the 76ers have interest in trading for LeBron James. How true these are, I don't know. There's always rumors in the sports world, whether it be for trades, signings, whatever it may be. I don't know, but this is an interesting one. LeBron going to Philadelphia via trade. This would probably be the biggest trade in all of sports history, in my opinion. Obviously, there'd be some other things attached to Ben Simmons because you can't just trade them straight up because LeBron is, the best player in the world, probably best player of all time. So, I mean, you're probably going to have to do like Ben Simmons, JJ Redick, and a first round for LeBron. I'd take that if I were the Lakers. You need shooters. You get a younger person in Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I mean, the 76ers trying to take advantage, I guess, now with the roster they have and trying to win it all now before, they lose that ability. And who knows how much time LeBron's got left in the NBA.
Would you do this trade if you're LA? The one I just prepared for you. Redick, Simmons, first rounder. Bingo.
I'd probably ask for one more piece. Maybe another pick, like a future pick. But other than that, I don't think the Sixers would go that far. So I think it'd be very hard to come up with a deal for both sides to gain out of it.
Yeah, unless you put in Bogdanovich, the 7-foot whatever center, you put him in there as well. So then you get a top center, you get a shooter, and you get basically a top all-star in Simmons and a first rounder for LeBron.
Yeah.
I would take it then because they need center depth as well after trading Zubats. And I think is McGee going to be a free agent? I don't think so. No. I don't know. But see, I'm not even NBA. I'm not even in tune with because
I think it's a very vague topic right now. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's a stretch. If it does happen, I'd be shocked.
Yeah. People always decide to text me and Snapchat me whenever I do like a podcast, and it pisses me off. I don't even know if I have any more questions. I don't, of course. I got 4 questions set. One of them wasn't even a question, and one of them, what's your favorite color? One of them was from you. I got one real question, and that was a fun fact that people don't know about me. I'll say it here. I love classical music and art, and I go to classical music concerts and art museums all the time. That's a fun fact about me. A lot of people don't know that about me. And my favorite color is blue, by the way.
Yeah.
No, people don't really care. But Ben Simmons for LeBron James. If I'm the Sixers, I'd do it. You're not getting over the hump. You need another big splash. Simmons isn't really getting it done. And basically, fuck it at this point. I mean, what else is Philly going to do? I mean, They got Tobias Harris. They got Jimmy Butler. Like, they got tons of people. Embiid didn't work out with Fultz. So, you know what I mean?
Like, imagine that.
What else do you have to do? You get what else do you have to do if you're Philly? You know what I mean? You have all these all-stars. And they had a bench too. JJ Redick and all them.
That'd be a solid bottom 3. Jimmy Butler, LeBron, and Embiid. So,
I mean, there's really not much unless I can see the trade getting done from a Lakers standpoint, but I can't see it getting done from a Sixers standpoint. You know what I mean?
I feel like they'd have to give up way too much.
Thank you. If I was the Sixers front office, I was looking at it, I would say, this is dumb. And then if I'm the Lakers front office, I'm like, come on, just get it done. Just get it done. So it's totally 2 different areas of mindset, whether it be the front office or even player aspects. Imagine Ben Simmons, what he thinks. Imagine being the main piece and getting traded for LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean, it would be very mixed emotions. You're thinking, well, this team just gave up on me like that.
For LeBron James. But also, I mean, it's a good thing. Like, wow, like I was in the package back for LeBron James. That shows a lot of what I'm worth. But then also at the same point, you're like, oh, like I got traded for LeBron and now I'm going to be like second fiddle on this team.
Yeah.
So like, it's cool that you got traded for him, but then you go to a team where you know the fans aren't going to be happy because they just traded LeBron.
Yeah. Like it would be up there like the Odell Beckham trade. I think the Lakers fans would be up in arms. And I mean, hey, they were protesting last week. Well, let's do some more protesting.
You heard that one, Dom?
Yeah.
Going off. It's summertime here in Milford, Connecticut, and people, they got the race cars out, they got the bikes out, motorcycles. I've had the top down, everything. It was a nice day yesterday. I did tons of stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I would do it. It's one of those trades it's kind of a win-win, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is one of those, it's even trade, but it's also at the same time, it's kind of like a why trade. Like, why would you do it?
For the Sixers, it would be that trade to try to get them over the hump to try to win something while they can.
Yeah.
And then for the Lakers, it would help them way down, 4 or 5 years from now. They would really benefit from this.
Also, clear some money for the Lakers. Even though they already have money, if they made this trade, they would have even more money on top of the tons, because they still have another max spot. So if they get rid of LeBron, they're going to have another max spot as well, plus Simmons, plus J.J. Redick, plus Lonzo Ball, Kuzma, Ingram, all those average players.
And it gets them another chance to get Klay Thompson. It makes it easier for them to get Klay Thompson. And, Klay Thompson, I think Klay Thompson with Ben Simmons would be a solid point. I think they'd be a good duo.
So next we're going to get into the Money in the Bank final card and predictions. I will be there May 19th in Hartford, Connecticut at the XL Center. Let me get this up right now. What are your thoughts on it, Dom, if you have any at all?
Let's see. So it's Sunday. How far is that away from you?
From you, Hartford?
No, not from you.
How far is Hartford away from me?
Yeah.
40, 45 minutes.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, I have to pick up Kyle. So he lives in Cheshire, though, so it's on the way. Money in the Bank predictions. Cruiserweight Championship, Tony Nese versus Arya Davari. Kickoff show. This match is going to be fucking awful. I like Tony Nese. Arya Davari, he's all right. He's nothing special. I don't know how we got this match in the first place. United States Championship, Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. I don't know, for some reason I have Rey Mysterio winning this match.
Yeah. How long has Rey Mysterio been? I feel like he's been in the WWE
He's
forever.
been wrestling since like the 80s. In like the majors since about late 90s.
Yeah, I feel like he's been there for
forever. Been WWE since about 2003, I want to say, 2002, maybe 2004. I don't know. He's been early 2000s. Roman Reigns versus Elias. I have Elias picking up a cheap win over Roman Reigns, or ending in a no contest. Then you have The Miz versus Shane McMahon in a steel cage match. I have The Miz winning this easily. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Alexa Bliss versus Bayley versus Natalya versus Naomi versus Carmella versus Dana Brooke versus Mandy Rose versus Ember Moon. My pick for this match, Nikki Oh, man. I have an Alexa thing, and I just said Alexa Bliss, and it just picked it up. Bingo. I totally forgot about that. But Nikki Cross is actually replacing Alexa Bliss. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I haven't watched WWE in like 3 weeks. I'm done with it. So I just found that out like yesterday. My pick for this one is probably Bayley.
Hey, that's what I was going to pick.
Yeah, it's Bayley or Ember Moon. But that's my prediction. A lot of people are saying Mandy Rose. Don't know why. Then the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre versus Ricochet versus Randy Orton versus Andrade Cien Almas versus Mustafa Ali. Oh my God. Each of these have 8 people in them. They're ladder matches. They go, do you know what the Money in the Bank briefcase is?
No.
All right. So the Money in the Bank briefcase is this. And they climb a ladder, and this hangs above the ring. And I have it signed by a bunch of wrestlers too. That's Alexa Bliss, Carmella, Tyler Breeze, Jason Jordan. So this is worth a lot. Alexa Bliss won the first ever women's Money. Oh, no, wait. She won the second, and Carmella won the first ever women's Money in the Bank. So I have the first and second winners of the women's Money in the Bank briefcase.
I don't know that.
Oh my God, Alexa just picked that up again. So Yeah, it's pretty dope. But this is what they get. And this briefcase, you can cash this in anytime, anywhere for a championship match.
Okay.
Imagine if they had that in sports. If you could have like a briefcase and you can cash in on the champions anytime, anywhere to just take their championship trophy.
That'd be insane.
Like you could have like, I'm trying to think usually like an average wrestler or like an in-between wrestler who can't really get over. They usually win that type of match. They can get the briefcase and get like an easy win over the champion. So I'm trying to think of like a really average, say like the Cowboys, say they win it, and say like the Patriots won the Super Bowl. Say like on like a random Wednesday, they show up to, Gillette while they're having practice or something like that. And they're like, all right, we're cashing in this briefcase and we're going to face the Patriots right now. If we win, we're the 2019 or 2018 Super Bowl champs. You know how crazy that would be? And it's televised. Boom, right there. But they usually cash in during events, so they don't cash in like on like a random day.
Yeah.
But it's always at like Raw, SmackDown, or a pay-per-view. It's always televised.
Mm-hmm.
But my pick for this match is Drew McIntyre. Who do you got?
I was going to say Randy Orton.
Randy Orton? All right. Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. Who do you got? I have Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch? All right.
Yeah.
And then SmackDown Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. I have Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte Flair.
You got Charlotte? All right. Because Becky's the double champ.
Mm-hmm.
So then you got WWE Championship, Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens. I have Kofi Kingston. Yep. Universal Championship match, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. I have Seth Rollins.
I got Seth Rollins, yeah.
Yeah, I got a little bit of scoopski here. I heard that the Universal Championship match at WWE Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia is going to be Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar.
I'll go. Ooh.
I got to go Lesnar there.
Yeah, I'd say that's a tough one. I'll go Rollins. All
right. So the updated NHL playoff outlook and thoughts. I'm going to pass this one over to you, Don.
God. Well, we talked about last week how by your luck we would see the Bruins and the Sharks. Well, I called it. I said the Bruins were going to sweep the Hurricanes, and they did. And now you got the Sharks up on the Blues. And, controversy in Game 3, we'll get to that later. But I think you look at it, the Sharks got to be the favorites right now. I think the Sharks are going to win this in 7. I think it'll go 7. But I've got the Sharks in 7. And then I think the Sharks beat the Bruins in 7. I think that one goes 7 as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I always get, as I said last week on the podcast, I always get the short end of the stick when it comes to these things. Like Sharks, they're the Kings' rivals, and I don't like Boston teams. So it's going to be Sharks and Bruins. So I'm going to take the lesser of the two evils. I'm going to have to go with the Sharks because I'm not going to hear the end of it from Bruins fans.
Yeah, that's all you can really say. Like I said, we'll get into the Game 3 controversy later in the viewer mail.
But yeah, right now I have to go the same thing. Sharks going over the Blues, and then Sharks beating the Bruins.
Yeah, that's what I got. And, the finals never usually let down.
Hurricanes and Bruins, that was a boring series. Sharks and Blues, 2-1 right now with Sharks up. That's an interesting series. I like that one. That's probably one of the best series of the playoffs so far.
Yeah, it's been very close for the most part.
Controversy.
Yeah, you had 5-4 in Game 1 and 4-2 in Game 2 and then 4-2 in Game 1. So, yeah, I mean, the Blues could easily be up in this series.
They should be up.
But,
yeah, it is what it is.
Can't control it. I mean, Game 1, the Sharks ran away with it. Then the Blues took Game 2, and then, the Sharks took Game 3. Should they have? Oh, don't know.
We'll find out. So we're going to go to the halftime viewer mail. We actually have questions this week. Thank you, everyone. Is the KD injury more serious than we think? This is from Nancy in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Is it more serious than we think? Yes. Is it more serious than the Warriors thought? No. They wanted to perceive it as, oh, it's just a calf strain. To me, it looks like it's a lot more serious. Maybe he has like, I don't know, because did you see how he hurt it?
Yeah.
It almost looks like he tore something.
Yeah, he could have. They could just be playing it very cautious, knowing that, they're almost a better team without him. I think they've lost one game in the past, 32 without Durant.
Yeah, I think it's more serious than the Warriors thought it was, or maybe they knew it was bad but wanted to put it off as something else.
I think he'll play in the finals.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they're probably not going to need him for the rest of this series because this series could be done because he's not going to Portland, and this series could be done by the time they leave Portland.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be all right. I think the biggest scare was the Knicks fans. They're like, "Oh man, no," because some people thought
Knicks fans are probably more worried than Warriors fans.
Yeah, people thought it was his Achilles at first, and that's really bad. If you tear your Achilles,
you're done for
a while. Yeah.
Yeah. But get some more questions. Is Anthony Davis a better fit for the Lakers or the Knicks? This is from Kenny in Hartford, Connecticut. I think Anthony Davis is a better fit for the Knicks. Just the way the teams are built. The Lakers have tons of forwards, so they really don't need. They do need star power, but so do the Knicks. And the Knicks need more forwards than the Lakers. So that's just my opinion. Who do you think?
Yeah, I think the Knicks. They're going to give him much more, and I think he'll be a much better, bigger player for the franchise, and I think that's what he wants.
Yeah.
With the Lakers, he'd be kind of overshadowed by LeBron, and I don't think he wants that. And I think the Knicks just have more potential than the Lakers right now, and I think he wants to be on a winning team now rather than have to wait.
So I forgot I had this. I've been meaning to use it for my podcast, but I think I'm gonna start using it now. It's a sound machine. All right, so next we're gonna go to the next question. Can the Yankees still make a significant playoff push without Miguel Andujar and the uncertainty of Judge and Stanton? This is from Matt in East Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of I talked a little bit about it when we had Big Daddy. The Yankees are looking strong. Chance to take the division lead this weekend against Tampa Bay. They're pitching looking strong. The starting pitching looks better than people want to make it out to be. Their bullpen is top in baseball. You look, they fixed Chad Green, and that's even better. Chapman's on it right now. Ottavino is on it. Britton. And, you got Luke Voit. He's solid. Kendrys Morales is an okay pickup. I think it's just for more depth. DJ LeMahieu, top hitter right now, average-wise on the Yankees. Tyro Estrada, he's been good, coming up with all these injuries. Gio Urshela better than anyone could have expected.
I know.
Gleyber Torres, like I said, I think he's the face of the franchise if it wasn't for Aaron Judge. I think you could form almost like maybe a core four with these guys like Judge, Torres, Didi, and Sanchez.
I would put Judge, Torres, Sanchez, and Severino.
Yeah, Severino. Yeah, you get the pitcher, Severino. All came up through the Yankee system. All just young and have plenty of years left. I think, they could rival the core four.
Yeah.
The outfield's got depth. They could, once Stanton comes back and Judge comes back, top outfield. Cliff Frazier's been good. They got to find a way to keep him up. He's been struggling since he came back from the injury, but I think he'll get back into the swing of things. I think
I'm going to overuse the shit out of this. I got to put this away because I'm just going to keep.
No, the Yankees should make anything less than a World Series, right? For the Yankees this year would be a disappointment.
I know. They do. As I said before, it's just injuries. They really have no weaknesses right now.
And I mean, they're a half game out of the division. They have one of the best records in baseball with a AAA team almost out there. So
yeah, I think they could. Without Andujar, easily. Without Judge and Stanton, no way. My TV just turned on, and I don't know how. Did you see that? My TV just turned on. It's voice activated though, but in order to turn it on, you have to say "Hi TV." You have to say "Hi TV, power on." This is weird, Dom. This is getting weird. You have to say "Hi TV, power on." I did not say anything like that.
Yeah, no. Those 4 words did not, come out of anyone's mouth.
Creepy. So next we'll go to the next question. The answer here from Open Table Sports on that previous one, yes. Who's going to go number 1 in the NHL draft? Hughes or Kako? Kako. It's from Anthony in Long Island, New York.
So you look at, Jack Hughes he's the favorite to go number 1 of the Devils. Devils, a center. They need a center. The Rangers needing a winger. So the Rangers really hoping that Kako slips to them at 2, which is what's supposed to happen. But Kako is playing phenomenally right now. And, it's getting some fans worried that the Devils might take Kako because the Rangers need wingers, and Kako's a winger. They don't need centers. They have plenty of centers. So right now, I still think Hughes is going to go number 1. But as a Rangers fan, I hope Hughes goes number 1, and I also unbiasedly think Hughes will go 1. He's just the top talent in this draft. But the way Kako's playing, he may run himself into the number 1 pick.
Dom, who's the top goalie coming into this draft?
Not much goalies. And right now, I can't even tell you that because there's not that many goalies going up for this draft.
All right. I need to know as a Kings fan because our goalie situation – cheeks. We have Campbell behind Quick. Campbell's pretty good, but Quick is straight cheeks.
Yeah.
Which New York football team is more dumb, the Jets or the Giants? All right. This is what I said, Dom, for the podcast. I said for right now, in this point of time, the Giants are the dumber team than the Jets. But if you're talking all time, the Jets are the dumber team than the Giants.
I can agree to that to some extent. I think the Giants, again, they look dumb now. It's going to depend on the play on the field. Depends on Daniel Jones' future. That'll really determine whether this was really dumb or not. If Daniel Jones comes out to nothing, then yes, pretty dumb. Yeah, and then with all time, obviously, the Giants have 4 Super Bowls. They've been doing something right, and the Jets have 1, and that was Super Bowl 3. And they made some pretty dumb decisions. I think I saw something about Mark Sanchez, how they picked Mark Sanchez over somebody. I forget the quarterback. It might have been Russ. No, it wasn't Russell Wilson. It was someone before that. They picked someone over someone that was really good.
It happens all the time, though. So, I don't know.
The Jets, they couldn't hold Bill Belichick for more than a day. The Jets as a franchise have not been really that great. They made some pretty dumb decisions, and who knows what they're going to do now.
Yeah.
They fired their GM after everything basically done with the offseason. I'm just kind of confused about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Both New York teams are looking pretty silly right now.
Yeah. My computer did that thing again where it pops up to my photos. I don't know why. Was that a hand pass in the Game 3 of the Sharks and Blues series? It's from JJ in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I don't know. I think it was.
I think it's hard to call in the moment, but then again, honestly, if you look at it, it definitely was. The NHL admitted to it. They said it was a hand pass, and now they removed all 4 officials from the playoffs. All those refs are out. They're done. They're done for the playoffs because they missed it.
Yeah. Do you think that the Blues could have won if they called that a hand pass?
I mean, again, you can't say the Blues would have won, but I mean, it still would have given them a chance. Like, obviously, over time,
Because then you get
anything
into
can
the
happen.
conversation about momentum.
Yeah, I mean, this could change the whole series. Say the Sharks win tonight. That just changes everything because now the Sharks are up 3-1 instead of, the Blues being up 2-1 and having momentum at home.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that could change the whole series.
Yeah.
I still think it goes 7, but if it goes, 5 or 6, we could look back at a missed call and say that could have really determined the outcome of the series.
Yeah. So, small breaking news here at Open Table Sports. We've renamed the rundown. It's now called the Quick Pitch. Let us know what you think about the name change. You could tweet at us. You can comment on this, whatever it may be. But it's now called the Quick Pitch. So if you're confused, this is your notice. I don't know what else to call it. This is your notice that we're changing something at Open Table Sports. We'll probably tweet it out in like 10 seconds. But so now for the Quick Pitch. If people didn't know what the rundown was, it's just quicker news, smaller stuff that we don't really need to talk about. Rays acquired catcher Erik Kratz in cash from the Giants for a player to be named later. Pirates acquired right-handed pitcher Chris Stratton from the Angels for cash. Yankees acquired first baseman / DH Kendrys Morales from the Athletics for cash. Yankees placed starting pitcher Jonathan Lasagna. That's not his real name. It's Loizaga or Loizaga. I call him Johnny Lasagna.
Yeah.
On the 60-day IL. I always call it DL. Mm-hmm. Yankees third baseman Miguel Andujar has opted to have season-ending shoulder surgery, and he will have it next Monday. Cavaliers hired John Beeline. I don't know. I think it's Beeline as their new head coach on a 5-year contract. Lakers hired Frank Vogel as their new head coach on a 3-year contract. Brett Brown will return to the 76ers next season. Manchester City won the 2018-2019 Premier League title. Novak Djokovic won the Madrid Open. Brooks Koepka leads the PGA Championship at 7 under. Brad Keselowski won the Digital Alley 400 at Kansas. Now for NHL, Sabres hired Ralph Kruger as their new head coach. Chiefs traded a 6th-round pick to the Jets for linebacker Darren Lee. Seahawks signed quarterback Geno Smith to a 1-year contract. Patriots signed linebacker Jamie Collins to a 1-year contract. Panthers signed wide receiver Aldrick Robinson. Ravens signed outside linebacker Shane Ray and wide receiver Michael Floyd. The Jets fired GM, general manager, Mike McCagnon. Defensive end Dion Jordan will be suspended the first 10 games of the season for PEDs. Texans signed running back Taiwan Jones. Quarterback E.J. Manuel retired from the NFL. Giants signed offensive tackle Mike Remmers. Buccaneers released running back Kerwin Williams. Eagles signed quarterback Cody Kessler. Bills signed tight end Lee Smith to a 3-year contract. Eagles re-signed offensive guard center Steven Wisniewski. He pronounced it a weird way, I think, though.
Yeah, Wisniewski.
Yeah, so he doesn't pronounce it like it's spelled. Mm-hmm. To a 1-year contract, and the Dolphins signed running back Mark Walton. So that's it for today. For the Open Table Sports Podcast, episode 20. Next week we're back for episode 21. Let me see the date for next week. 24th. I should be fine unless I have work or something like that. But we're set for next week. Same time, same place. YouTube live, and then it goes to a regular video. I think LJ put up the audio on SoundCloud of last week's episode. I'm not 100%. I think he did. But we'll see. So we're going to try to put the audio from these on our SoundCloud for all of you guys. Follow us, Open Table Sports, on everything. It's no slashes or numbers or anything like that. It's just Open Table Sports. Give us feedback, like, retweet. Sometimes we might not tweet out the news, but we will cover it in the podcast every Friday. We're trying to get those daily recaps out. I'm always busy. It's summertime, so I'm going to be out usually, but we're going to try to get them up as much as we can. But that's it for the Open Table Sports Podcast. I'm Matt Degnan. That's Dom Caps. That's it.